Hey y'all, it is Andrea here at VW Family Farm. I am going to make a quick video for you guys. This is something you will probably want to bookmark this video. It's going to be to the point, lots of valuable information, things I get asked a lot about buying meat in bulk, buying like a whole or a half or even a quarter of a beef or a whole or a half of a hog. Questions you should know to ask, what you can expect, and all those things. So let's get started. So I'm out here, we got steers out here, we've got heifers, we got several things going on out here, but I tried to zoom in and show you two different steers. Those were a couple of the ones that are going to be going to butcher here in the next month here from our farm. They probably weigh about 650, maybe some of them 700 pounds. They're probably about 18 months old. We don't grow them out super huge here because we are going for really good quality, and they are grass-fed, which tends to be leaner, and we want to deliver the best quality product we can, as well as this day and time. Another factor to consider is when do your butcher dates line up, and it's getting better. More processing dates are opening up, but it has been pretty bad the last couple years. If you've tried to get an appointment, we have had to start scheduling animals that are not even born yet, so it's kind of a guessing game. So in the future, maybe we'll go a little bit bigger, but another thing is they will not process animals, cows that are over 30 months old. You have to sign something saying that they are not over 30 months old. So up to this point, 18 months has kind of been our go-to. So that leads me to one of our biggest questions. What can you expect from that? So I just told you that 650 pounds is about what those weigh. Well, I'm about to hit you guys with some facts and some math and some numbers, so get ready. This is some of our most asked questions. So here on our farm, when we sell a whole or a half beef, or we've even sold quarters in the past, we sell those by what is called the rail weight, or some people will call that the hanging weight. So the first thing you need to know is, what in the world does that mean? Well, rail weight is when the animal has arrived at the processor or the butcher. The rail weight or hanging weight is when the head, the hide, the hooves, the blood, and the innards have been removed. So that is the weight that, if you have ever seen on TV or a movie, like a big meat locker with animals, lots of meat hanging up, that is literally why it's called the hanging weight. That is what is going to hang there and age or what have you. So that is called the rail weight. They will then call us, and then that is how we charge customers. What difference can you expect between live weight and rail weight? Because that is a big thing to consider, especially if you're the farmer. You need to know that ratio. So let's say your animal weighed about 675 pounds. You can times that by 60%, or in a calculator, you can times that by 0.6, and that will give you pretty close estimate on what your rail weight is going to be. So a 675 pound animal is then going to go down to about 405 pounds hanging weight. And like I told you guys, ours are sort of on the small side on purpose right now. And so you're not going to get as much meat as you would off of someone raising one that is several years old, that's a cull animal that now they've decided they're going to get rid of. These are young animals raised for this purpose. You're going to get less meat, but hopefully really good quality. Now you're down to about 405 pounds. So in our case, ours are $4.75 per pound. And that is another question you need to know if you're buying like this from a farmer. Are they paying processing, or are you? In our case, we pay the processing. So when you pay $4.75 per pound on that railway, that is your total, final, everything cost. You don't pay another penny anywhere else. But does that mean you're going to bring home 405 pounds of meat? No. because it is going to go from that hanging carcass with all those big bones in it. It's not cut into any sort of cuts of meat at that point. It's going to go down another, you can times it by 0.6. You're going to lose about 40% more, and then you are at the bring home weight. So that 675 pound animal went down to 405 pounds hanging weight or rail weight, and then that will go down to somewhere around 250 pounds bring home weight. So if you're dealing with a young, smaller animal like this, you can see why, if you're really wanting to stock your freezer, you might want to go with a whole cow as opposed to half. It just depends on what you're wanting, what freezer space you have available, all those kinds of things. But I also want to address the price, because that is another asked question. So what do you have in that animal at that point? Well, in our case, if you're paying $4.75 per pound, you paid that on 405 pounds, but you wound up with about 250 pounds of meat. So if you do the math on that, you're paying right around $7.90 something per pound. So I don't know what you think of that price, but I don't know if you've checked meat prices in the store lately. They have skyrocketed. But one thing I want you to think about that I try to remind people of is you're paying that price for your cheapest cuts, like your ground or your stew meat or something like that. But you're also paying $7 and something for your most expensive cuts, your ribeyes, your filet mignons, everything you're getting for $7 and something a pound. So you can see how that breaks down, how you can do that. And before we go out to the freezer, because I have some really important tips I want to share with you guys, I just want to mention hogs as well. So I'm going to go over and show you some hogs right now. They're about 3 months from butcher. We're having to guess on them as well. We've had to have appointments really far in advance, well before pigs have been born the last couple years. So hopefully that's going to get better. But I am going to give you a rough estimate and a breakdown of the cost of a hog as well, because I think some of you are really interested in that. You're trying to do these things, and I just want to equip you with everything I can to be able to make an educated decision. So let's go look at the pigs, and I'll break that down for you real quick. So I don't know how well you guys can see these. They have some growing to do. They still have about 3 months left till butcher, but I jotted down some numbers for you about them as well. I went back and did some research on weights of ours in the past. These are old spots as well. Pigs are going to vary quite a bit by what breed they are. What type are they? Are they more of a show pig type, a cross from that? Because we've had those and they grow up pretty large. Are they like a heritage breed? Because that's going to determine some things. So you'll kind of want to take that into consideration. Are you raising a cooney or a American guinea hog or something cute like that that's smaller? Of course, your numbers are going to need to adjust. But we raise our pigs. We strive for between 8 and 9 months old. That's when we process pigs. We have found that to be where they are pretty good size, but also very juicy and tender. And in our case, quality meat is our goal, because that's the business we're in, and that's what we're trying to provide for ourselves as well as other people. So I'm going to look at this paper a little bit because I don't want to get this wrong. In the past few years, a good kind of average number is about 320 pounds live weight on pigs once they go to butcher. And then once they are at the rail weight, which again is the head, hooves, hide, blood, and innards removed, also on a pig, then they go down as well. You lose about 40%. So they go down to about 190 pounds at that point for a whole hog. And then when they're processed, which you're losing bones and just different things that they're taking off and cutting it, grinding it, all those different things, you wind up with about 115 pounds of packaged meat. Now, just like with the cows, we charge by the rail weight. We charge $4.25 a pound for hogs. We raise animals here. Beef are grass-fed. Hogs are fed daily non-GMO feed. So we do have to charge a little more for that. And that's another thing you're going to want to find out from your farmer. What kind of feed are they feeding? And the higher quality, the more you can expect to pay, because you're getting a higher quality product. But again, we pay processing, so that $4.25 a pound on that rail weight, which was about 190 pounds. is all you pay. That's every cent you pay. And then if you take that bring home weight, which was 115 pounds, our pork comes out to be about $7 per pound, finished weight, bring home weight. So that again is for your cheapest cuts of pork, all the way up to like your pork tenderloin and the different things that are more expensive when you go to the grocery store. And let's just also throw in there, this day and time, it's not just all about price, it's about availability. And so filling your freezer with farm fresh meat is not just about getting a good product, it's about knowing that you have food in your freezer for you and your family. So I want to take you guys up here just to end this video and show you some packages of meat. Number one question I would ask if I was going to do this is, I've already mentioned this once, but it's important because it affects your bottom line, is are you paying processing or am I? That's really, really important for you guys to know. It's going to determine your final price on your meat. Second biggest question I would ask is, do I get to choose my own cuts? Are you predetermining a list for, like, especially on a quarter of a beef? Sometimes farmers have to do that because the processor has told them that. But if you're getting to choose your cuts of meat, how that's going to usually work is, and how it works for our customers is, we give you a date, we haul the animal to the processor on that date, I send you the phone number, I send you some reminders along the way, and you have put down a deposit at some point, so I know you're committed to this animal. And then on the morning that we deliver the animal to the processor, it becomes yours. You call them, and if you will just let a processor know that you've never done this before, they will walk you through it step by step, and you can ask all the questions you want. You can say, if they say, what do you want to do with your front shoulders? And you tell them, I've never done this before. They should give you some different choices of what you can do with each different cut of meat. So find out, do you get to choose your cuts? And if you do, it would take me all day to give you a list of the options of things you can get your meat cut into. If we're talking beef or pork, if pretty much the way it is at our processor, if you can think it up, they probably can do it. And you get to choose things like thicknesses on steaks, roast, do you like them 2 or 3 pounds, or do you want lots bigger ones or lots smaller ones? It's just all gonna be up to you. All the different things you could buy at the grocery store, you can get your meat cut into. And finally, one of the other things I think is very important for you guys to know, and for you to ask your farmer if you're gonna be buying meat in bulk, is how is it packaged? Because if you're buying in bulk, you're generally gonna be putting it in a freezer for somewhat of an extended period of time. Really, vacuum sealed these days is king. That is, a lot of people like the old butcher paper, and I get it, I do too. I don't like plastic, but if we're talking about something you're investing a lot of money in, this is going to keep your meat fresher for a lot longer. So you can see also, there's sloppy ways to do even vacuum sealed. So ask, do they neatly package it? You can see how this is a pound of ground beef. It's in a really nice square. It's got something in here to absorb liquid. These stack really, really nicely in a freezer. We've also had them, some of you might have gotten them from us, that weren't as square. They were more flattened out and more of a rectangle. I like those as well. I like them both. It's just neatly packaged, stacks nice, takes up less room for you guys when you get it home. Also, these are beef patties we just got in. Ask if they can do things like that, if you're interested in that. Sausage patties, sausage links, all those different types of things. Again, neatly packaged, stacked up really nice, will stack really well in a freezer. All those different types of things matter. So think of those things, ask those things if they interest you. And I hope I've covered everything. I really tried. I hope you'll save this video, that it can help you in the future. And I plan to use this video as well. If you're one of our customers and I've sent this to you, thank you. If you're interested in becoming one of our customers, we'd love to have you. We are trying to be in this for the long haul to provide quality protein for our family and yours. So we'll see you guys on the next one. If you haven't subscribed, please do so and stick around. We'd love to have you. We show all kinds of farm life and family life here on our farm in Arkansas. I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching, and God bless.